Good morning, everybody, and welcome to your Monday morning wake and bake. I'm your host, Joey Blaze, live from my car here in my driveway here in my place. Just chilling, waiting, getting ready to go to work soon. Hope you all having a wonderful Monday morning, that all of you are feeling better from the weekend. I know shit gets rough out there sometimes, some tough games, some physicality, some brutality. What a weekend it was in the world of sports around here in the four-state area. Let's have a recap of the scores. We're not going to go into detail like I do on the other show, because I'm saving that for Wednesday night, because we got a big show planned Wednesday night. Trust me, you're going to want to be there. It's going to be lit. It's going to be legit. We got some mid-season reviews. But first, let's start out by last Saturday. Let's go back to 9 a.m. Saturday morning. It was Spartans 34, pure chaos, nothing. This was not competitive. Not a competitive game. Spartans just gave it to them. We'll have more on that on Wednesday night when we talk about it on the show. Second game of the day, it was Misfits 33, X-Dogs 7. Another game where it just wasn't close. Misfits showing some new looks. We'll talk about that Wednesday night too. Saw a different Misfits team. In fact, I believe that was their fourth game. So, like I said, we'll get to that a little bit later on. Third game of the day, it was Ruckus 21, Broadaxe 14 in overtime. What a game. Oh my God. Who had Ruckus last week beating Broadaxe? Did anybody? I don't think anybody did. I know I didn't. What an upset. Ruckus beats Broadaxe, and crazy to think, Broadaxe has not beaten Ruckus in 2 regular seasons, or 3 regular seasons in a row now. They've gotten them in the playoffs, though. Think about November. And then finally, the end of the day was Showtime defeating the program 41-0. This game caught off with about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Program was done. They walked away, understandably so. Just not a close game, not a good day for the Cramley. It was close in the first 2 drives, and then just after that, Boone and company went full throttle. Eric Jones eating up secondaries. What a performance he had. Meanwhile, Saturday night over in Brunswick, Maryland, it was the Railroaders' home opener as they took on the Richmond Jets, a 14-3 Jets victory. Unfortunately for Brunswick, not able to bring home the victory for the home fans. We'll talk about this in great length. There won't be a Railroader report this week. We'll see what the future of Railroader report is, but we'll talk about it in detail. This was a game where Brunswick, their defense played excellent all game. My God, their defense held their own against this team. They should have won with how well they played, but unfortunately, as the game went on, it became clear Brunswick could have moved the ball, and the Jets started to get momentum, and the Jets started to move the ball, and on top of that, Brunswick got tired. You could tell watching it from the booth. The Railroaders put up a fight, just not enough in the end. The Jets victorious 14-3. A big victory for the Jets. Congratulations to them. We'll see what the future holds for Brunswick. Not sure when the next game is. We'll find out sometime soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later. We'd love to see the Railroaders back on the field. Brunswick ball is always the best ball to watch, you know. And Sunday morning, as we get the T over to Browns 25-0, I'm going to talk about Keystone this morning. There is no Keystone Corner on Wednesday night because there's no Keystone this week, so I'm not going to do a show. We'll do a fresh start next week when we do our big week. We'll get to that later. So no Keystone Corner, so we're going to talk about the games right now. First game, TBT 25, Browns 0. This was a game where Team Blunt Talk Came in with only 8 to start. Only 8. Our 9th guy arrived at the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. And he was a guy who, he had some football experience. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like he never played the game. He was just a coworker of Gary's that he hit up, and who happened to live 15 minutes away, and we just took him in, you know. He was our 9th body. By that point, it was 13-0. The Browns could not do anything against us. They couldn't move the ball. They struggled. The offense, that offense is a mess currently. They are sitting at a total of 6 points in 3 games. Actually, the Browns have yet to score this season, now that I think about it, on offense. Their only touchdown came on defense when Abe intercepted Daniel Taylor in the Green Machine game. So the Browns are sitting at 0 right now for the season. Not a good loss. That's a very demoralizing loss. TBT only had 9 after that. Our 10th player arrived toward the end of the game. By then it was 25-0. It was over. It was one-sided. Excellent day all around for TBT. Big props to all the guys yesterday. I'm going to give a shout out to them right now. Shout out to Kyler Todd, Taylor Suiters, Cody Strakonsky, Ross Collins, Gary Little, Brandon Michael. Trying to think of who else we had there at kickoff at 8 a.m. Sorry, I'm still tired. Yesterday was the longest day. It was the longest weekend. I'm thinking. Ant Smith, yeah, Ant was there. And I don't want to forget anybody. I'm just trying to remember I'm trying to remember all 8 we had at the start. Who was the last guy we had? I think I mentioned everybody. If I didn't, AJ Reynolds. Yeah, AJ. He showed up and he helped out. Coley came late. He was there for the Bees game. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Browns won. Browns fell 25-0. It was. Yeah, the game. I'm going to actually apologize up front. The sync on the video, so I'm going to try to go back and edit it to the best of my ability. It's going to be a little hard though, because I suck at syncing audio, because you don't see Keith Giles moving his mouth, and so it's kind of I'm going to figure out where he starts talking and where the play is. So that way the release works. I'll probably release 2 versions of the game. I'll release a full-length version for those who want to see the whole game. And I'll also release an edited version. Look for that sometime later in the week. We'll get to those games. But yeah, 25-0 was the result. TBT over the Browns. Good effort all around to the guys at TBT. Hell of a fight yesterday. We will see how things square out later for the Browns. But right now, like I said, 3 games in, and they're sitting at 0 points. Something has to change there. And they're also on their 3rd quarterback. No, actually, they're on their 4th quarterback in 3 games. They can't get anything going. I mean, they've tried. They had Pat Evans come in yesterday at the very end, and he played quarterback. They had a new kid yesterday before him. I don't know his name. I didn't catch it. They've had Ruby. They've had Purnell. They need to figure out what's going on there fast. You're almost halfway through the season, and we'll get to that sometime in the next couple of weeks when we hit our midterms for Keystone. Our next game that happened, Killer Bees and TBT. Man, we need to have more live streamers, man. I wanted to do it, but then I just like, I don't like the idea. I want to be able to actually have involvement in my team's games, so film our games anymore. Like, I want to be involved in some kind of way. I'd like to have somebody else do it. Unfortunately, my intern lives in Frostburg, or not Frostburg, Cumberland. I'm so out of it. I need to wake up. Good Lord. I'm mixing up names and like places and locations. I'm all kind of whacked out right now. That Wake It Big. I didn't say Pat from Program. That said Pat Evans. Pat Freedom is like the one from Program. But yeah, we need more live streamers because that Bees TBT game was 100% lit. That felt like a county game at times. That's how intense it got. It was a battle all around. Bees put up a fight. We put up a fight. TBT was actually up 14-6 in the fourth quarter of the game. We held in on defense. We were able to contain everybody. What really killed us was, I think in the end, Devin grew up and exploited a mismatch. He made a big growth at quarterback when he exploited the mismatch toward the end of the game with BJ and Griffin, our defender. He found him in the end zone. It was a beautiful one-on-one. It straight up could have gone either way. Both guys went up for it. BJ came down with it. That's made it 14-12. The next on offense, and so we had to punt. The punt didn't go too far at the 27. I can't remember who Devin hit on the next play, but he hit him for a touchdown, 27 yards, and that gave them the lead. We couldn't get downfield. They stopped us. The clock ran out, and they decided to call the game, and that was it. Bees won 20-14. They definitely came out there fighting. The Bees came out there. They didn't give up. They went against a talented team, and they held their own. Shout out to the guys who arrived for that game. Tyler McKeon, Sean Moats, and Coley Jones. For 9 of us yesterday, it was tough. 9 of us went both ways and played 2 games. 3 of them actually, Gary, B. Mike, and Brandon, they all played semi-pro the night prior. I give props to anybody who does semi-pro and flag. I think that's Javon watching right now. Shout out to Javon. He does both too. Like, shout out to anybody who takes their weekends and does both. That's a lot, and it just shows what kind of athlete you are. Like, big shout out to those guys. The ones who can play both semi-pro and flag in the same weekend. Sometimes the same day. Sometimes you get in the car, drive to the next game. That's some phenomenal shit. But going back to the Bees game, y'all balled. I loved it. Shout out to Devin Redmond. He took charge. He knew what to do. And he did not let the rush get to him. He made an excellent play, an excellent throw. Shout out to BJ Smith for the catch. Shout out to the Killer Bees for the W. Power rankings will be revealed when we reboot Keystone next week. Like I said, I'm not doing a show this week on Keystone because it would maybe be 10 minutes long. What we're going to do is, next week, we're going to do a reset, as I call it. And see where everybody lands at. That'll be sometime next Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on schedule. We'll let you know. So anyways, moving on from Keystone, we're going to go over to OMFFL. Game of the week yesterday. Rampage defeated the Affiliates for the first time, 7-6. Shout out to Rampage, finally knocking off AFN. Big win for those guys. Rampage had Chris Boone at quarterback, no Chris Price. They brought in another Chris, and they didn't skip a beat. Rampage came out there, they played well, they got the win. Big shout out to them. Don't know the rest of the results from MFFL. That was the one that stood out to me yesterday. Everybody told me. That was the big game of the week down there. It was Rampage AFN. Look forward to more of the week as we move along now from what happened over the weekend. Let's get to what's going on this week. So, I'll be editing games. I'll be trying to get them out as soon as I can. Lately, I've been getting them out later because I just have so much content to produce right now. We shot about 6 games this weekend. It should not take as long as it did last week. Last week we did 10, so that was quite a workload. I should be a little bit quicker. The only one that's going to be probably a pain in the ass is the Browns TBT games. I got to sync the audio, but I'll get it figured out. It's all good. A lot of good stuff coming to the channel. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to go on YouTube and look it up. Joey Blaze, Washington County Flag Football League, Owings Mills Flag Football League, Keystone Flag Football League, Brunswick Railroaders Semi-Pro. We got all the channels for you. Tune in, watch. Let's take a look at what's going on this weekend. Only Saturday has some action locally here. That's going to be kind of weird. We're used to having 2 days in a row some action. Instead, Saturday is the only day this week around here with some action starting at 9 a.m. with Broad Axe and Warriors, the game of the week. That'll be a good one. A really good one. Broad Axe, Warriors have never beaten Broad Axe, ever. Broad Axe is coming off a loss. Something's got to be done. They're at risk of starting 2-3 this year. Something's got to give. A lot of big games this week. Broad Axe Warriors, 9 a.m. Saturday. We'll be live for that one. It'll be a good one. The second game going on Saturday, looking like it's going to be X-Dogs versus Ruckus. That'll be the 10:30 kickoff. That should be a good one. Ruckus has come close to knocking off the Dogs a few times. Last season, they almost did it. This year, they're going to try to do it. Should be a really good game. I'm looking forward to that one. X-Dogs and Ruckus, 10:30. Something's got to give there, too, Ruckus they haven't won a game yet. The Orange X-Dogs haven't won a game. Ruckus will be Broad Axe. I'm not good at talking this morning. This is why the shows are at night. So that's the 10:30 game. After that, I won't be available for the rest of the day. There are 2 more games going on. First is at 12 p.m. with Showtime and Spartans, and then following that will be Program and Pure Chaos. If anybody wants to film those games, go ahead. I won't be available. I will be in Waynesboro again for another gig. I'm supposed to do 2 semi-pro games this weekend. We'll have that on the East. Tune into that one. Other than that, Sunday, I don't know what's going on in Owings Mills. I won't be down there. I won't be in Keystone either. Sunday's going to be a go and do some work day. It's going to be different this Sunday coming up. But then next week we're back to work again. So what's going on show-wise this week? Well, usually we have about 3 lined up. No Keystone Corner. We did the Keystone recap earlier of what happened. That's it. We're done talking about last week. We're going to reset next week when we do Keystone Corner. No Railroader report. we'll see what the future of that show is. I'm waiting. Like last week we didn't do it because we ran late because I just tend to botch the schedule sometimes. That I didn't have much interest in it from what I was gathering. We're gonna do it for every game still. Maybe a format change. We'll see. OMFFL Live, I'm not gonna really do. We'll probably do an OMFFL show again sometime next month. Not likely for us to be down there in the next couple weeks. I'll be in Keystone on October 4th, and I'll be also covering a 5-man tournament that day. The 11th, I have a game in Keystone, and then 18th is York. 25th is playoffs. I may be back for that one. I don't think anything's going on that weekend. We'll see. Yeah, that's about it. Washington County Flag Football Live is currently set to be the only show. There might be Blunt Talk. I don't know yet. I gotta put feelers out there and see if there's any interest. Like, there's no interest in this show right now. Right at 0 viewers. Shit happens. I've been talking for half an hour, so it's understandable. So that's about it. Those were the results. That's what's happening. We got shows Wednesday night. Next week, we got a lot going on. And we'll talk about that next Monday morning, same time, Wake and Bake. Till then, I'm Joey Blaze. We'll see you Wednesday night for Washington County Flag Football Live.